Hello everyone and welcome back to Silverrun Forest. That's right, we are back here at Silverrun today and it's an interesting day because we have called in some backup from a good old friend, Nordic Farming. And here he is, turning up with his big old log train. He's got the lovely Volvo truck and he's got some equipment. Wowzers, look at that big old horn. Here he is. Don't think this has got a horn, so I can't toot back, but I can at least flash my lights. There we go. So he's got a tree cutter, a log loader, and a log trailer. And he's come along to Silverrun today to help us out. And in fact, we've decided to take on this project together. So yeah, I started Silverrun Forest on my own, and we sort of got clearing the starting location up at the top of the hill. But really, the projects that we've got on this map call for more support. It really needs two of us to work at these projects. And we've given Nordic some seed money from Elm Creek. And he's purchased some great machinery to come along and help us. I want to keep the momentum going because he's got a heavy load. But he's following me up to the cabin. So yeah. He's kindly brought along all the equipment that's going to help us clear out the logging area much faster. So we will get this up to the cabin, unloaded, and then we'll probably load up some of the older equipment and maybe take that for sale. Maybe not immediately, but the main mission is about getting our area around the cabin all cleared up and loaded. So whilst he's sort of getting up the hill, because it's probably a bit of a steep climb for him, we'll move some of the older equipment out of the way, and we'll just put the Komatsu in the bushes here so it's out of the way, and then we'll get the Volvo crane out of the way as well. But these pieces of equipment really helped us out in the first session. Nordic is slowly working his way up the hill. It's obviously a bit tricky with such a heavy wide load, but yeah, he's managing. And here he comes. I think he's coming up one by one because he's got quite some heavy loads. And this is the wood harvester. We're going to check out all this new equipment in a moment. But yeah, here he is. Fantastic. So we've made a nice bit of clearance for him. And I think he'll return down the hill and go and get the wood crane. Fantastic. So Nordic is just parking up. We can unload, but yeah, let's jump in. This is the Volvo EC380DL. Switch it on and we can get unloaded. We'll do a little bit of turning and driving forward to unload it. Seems like Nordic left us lashed on here, so we're going to go down and grab the log loader, which is a bit too heavy to cart up the hill. So yeah, let's go help Nordic out and unload it. There we go, Nordic is bringing up the log trailer. Fantastic. And we can hop in here and get in the Volvo L200H. Fantastic, look at this. Proper log loading beast. So we've really upgraded the equipment that we've got, and that's going to help us. So just make sure I've got a good amount of clearance. Super duper. So yeah, this is all going to really help us speed up the logging operation around here. And we'll hopefully make some money, and we can buy some more land and move on with the logging. And the idea is to get these projects done, the roller coaster and the boat building, and we'll see what else we can get up to as well. There's some metal work that we're going to need as well for the roller coaster, so logging and metal work, and for that we will need to buy an iron furnace. There we go, I think we can leave this here for now, and Nordic and I can get started on our little plan about how to tackle some of the logging here. Right, so before we get started we're going to have to load up some of the old equipment, so I think we'll get in the Komatsu and get that loaded on first. There we go, perfect. And we've hopped in the old Volvo, and we'll go drop this on the low loader down the bottom of the hill so Nordic can easily attach to that, and we'll take these pieces of equipment back to the store and get them sold to help us out. Right, so we can get this loaded up. Nordic is coming here. Right, so Nordic is going to hitch up to this second trailer, and we are going to come along and get the quad bike and sell the second dolly just to save Nordic some time. So we will hitch up to this and we can go to the dealership and get this sold. I think Nordic is just navigating his way through the trees. Let's speed ahead of him, and yeah, we'll sell this second dolly and all of the older equipment. Excellent. So we can head back up to the lodge now that we've sold some of the older equipment, and that's given us a bit more seed money, but we of course have money in the fantastic new equipment that Nordic has brought to us, and that's really going to help us move forward with some of the projects we've got on Silverrun. So the plan is now that we're going to get stuck into the trees around the lodge, cutting them down, loading them onto the log trailer we've got, and running them up to the old sawmill where we've got the process running for making planks, long planks, and I think beams as well from memory, but I will check later. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan, and we've got to make quite a fair bit, so we've got enough for the roller coaster, and then any leftovers we can sell as well to make some money, but we have got enough money now to buy an iron furnace, so that's pretty handy. There we go, Nordic is started marking some of the trees, and we want to mark the area that we want to cover and clear out. There we go, getting quite a few marked up here. Oh, Nordic and I don't want to be covering each other's ground, but there's a huge mixture of big and small trees, so yeah, we'll have to be careful what we pick. Right, we've marked up a few trees, and Nordic is getting stuck in with doing some log cutting. There he goes. We are going to be doing some log loading to begin with, and we've got some 5-meter cut length logs that we need to just move out the way, because we are going to be cutting 6-meter logs. That's because we've got a trailer that's 12 meters, and we've got sort of 2 compartments, one front, one back, where we are going to be loading the logs, and the 5-meter ones can just go on top. Now we don't want to have the shorter ones on the bottom, so I'm going to move up with this fantastic and rather beefy log crane. This does seem to work quite well when I saw it and Nordic was testing it. Now we should be able to open up the claw, move it down, and there we go. Got quite a decent number, and you'll see that there's a nice little hook that comes down from above. So I've picked up a few of those, and Nordic is getting busy cutting down some of the big old trees. So yeah, I'm going to get busy moving these logs and then loading, winching what Nordic has pulled out from the trees, and then loading them up once we've got a good enough pile. Let's get these dropped over here for now. And yeah, Nordic and I are going to carry on and see you when we've made some good progress. There we go. So it's a little bit tricky, but we got a full trailer, and this is the Schwarzmüller, the Arnold Schwarzmüller trailer. And yeah, Nordic is going to be taking this full load, which I've loaded it as neat as possible. It is a little bit tricky, especially when we can't butt the logs up together nice and easy, so they overlap in the middle here. But that's okay, still managed to get a good proportion. I wonder if I can jump in here with Nordic. No, I can't, unfortunately, but that is a shame. But we'll meet him over at the old sawmill and see this all getting dropped off. And then I think we're going to swap places. Probably do some more log cutting, and Nordic can do the loading. He's far better than I am. So we'll see him over at the old sawmill. Well, actually, we can probably follow him in the quad. Oh, we've just caught up with Nordic, and we will follow him to the old sawmill, or maybe lead the way. Toot toot. Right, so we're here at the old sawmill, and Nordic is going to back up into the water and get that all loaded, or unloaded rather. Back he goes. And there we go, you can see the animation on the other side. It's starting to load them all, which is fantastic. So Nordic is in mid-unloading to the old sawmill, and we are really adding in the wood stocks here, and that's going to help towards the planks long and wooden beams that are all running here. Right, I think that's the last wood that's been unloaded, and we've got 41,000 and increasing amount of wood at the old sawmill. So let's take a quick look. Off Nordic goes. We'll see him back at the lodge. So yeah, 41,916 litres, and we are processing to make planks long and wood beams. So yeah, that's all being made and stored, and those are going to be our materials for the roller coaster. We will have to take some wood to the wood turner to make staircase railing, which is one of the requirements of the roller coaster. But yeah, that is pretty good. So yeah, we're going to double back to the lodge and start cutting down some more trees for wood, because yeah, we're going to need a large quantity. So we should hopefully make it back at the same time as Nordic, because we're a bit faster than he is. Right, we're back, and Nordic has wasted no time at all. He's got into the log grab, and he's going to start loading up a second trailer's worth. We are going to jump in the forestry machine and start cutting down some more trees in a slightly different section. So we are in the Volvo cutter. Fantastic. Now this is a track steered machine, so a little bit different to what we were operating before, so that's quite interesting. It's a bit sensitive to the wheel I've got running, but that's alright. Got quite a huge cutter on the front, so that's pretty interesting. So we're going to venture off into the woods and see what trees we can find to cut down that's in our land. So let's meander through, hopefully not make much of a mess with the logs that Nordic has already cut. Right, so I've come down to the next track because this is flatter and I can cut the logs and drag them downhill rather than uphill. So we should be able to, there we go, cut our first tree. And we'll scoot it off to the side and do some more cutting. So I think we've got 6 meter logs set. Yeah, Nordic set that, so that's pretty handy. So, going to get busy cutting away, and we'll try and get some of the trees from the hill and drag them down to this flat area so Nordic can load them up fairly easily. There we go. Right, let's get on with it and see when we've made some good progress. There we go. So we finished up cutting down some more trees, and it was very difficult because the trees were sort of in the hilly areas. So we are probably going to have to explore the yarders and cables part of the Platinum DLC, which is more attuned for tree logging when working in very hilly areas. But this is a full trailer. Nordic's done a fantastic job, much neater than my work. So we need to get this load over to the sawmill as well. And I've been waiting for this moment, but we are going to jump in the Volvo, and it's the FS22 470, and it's a fantastic looking truck if you ask me. And I'm just going to fire it on. Oh yeah, that sounds beefy. Let's get those beacons on, and we'll do another run to the sawmill, and have to try and take it nice and slow. I'm probably going to have to back out of here actually, I meant to think of it. Oh, she got horsepower. Backing up nice and smoothly. No issues with the power. Let's just back up over this bridge so we've got a good amount of angle to get out of here. Right, there we go. Should be able to get on over to the sawmill now, and Nordic's going to follow us in the old quad. There we go. Nordic is leading the way, overtaking us. What a madman. Cool, he's having a right weave around, Nordic. I think he's having fun on that quad bike. Right, so we're back at the sawmill, and we will reverse this in. Nordic and I have been talking about getting a second trailer, so we can just basically unhitch this trailer into the water, because it takes quite a while to unload, so we could just jet back and get working on cutting and loading more logs. So if we had two trailers, we could just drop one in the water, head back and get the other one, and then swap them over on each trip. There we go. We are depositing them in. Oh, I don't want to be driving too deeply in there because we'll get stuck. But, yeah, let's handbrake on, and we can unleash all of these logs. There we go. So whilst that's unloading, Nordic and I have found the storage area, and we can see that we've got planks, a pallet of planks, and I think these are the beams, yep, wood beams, 1,000 pieces, and then these are the long planks. So yeah, this is the little storage area where all of our produce is being made from our wood, and yeah, I think they get outputted from the old sawmill here, and someone comes along and transports them into the storage area, which is fantastic. So we will need to get a pallet loader of some description at some point, so we can get the materials over to the roller coaster. So we're going to leave this to unload. We've made some fantastic volume of wood in the sawmill today. So there we've got a whopping 62,326 litres and another compartment of the trailer to load in, so we might get close to filling it. But that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. It's been great to have Nordic along and join this series on Silverrun. And it's worth mentioning that this mini-series in Silverrun is going to replace mine and Nordic's multiplayer series on Calmlands for a short while, whilst we complete the projects here. And then we will get back to Calmlands, the second part. We got up to episode 30 now, so yeah, we'll resume once we've finished our project and antics at Silverrun. Yeah, hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like, and if you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like us to do, then feel free to leave a comment. Check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. And all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time, and until then, catch you later. Cheers all, bye bye.